everyone, I'm Cecily and welcome to my channel, The Lovers Astro and Tarot. I just want to say that I really appreciate all the love that I received in August and say thank you because it's really great to know that you guys are enjoying the videos as much as I enjoy making them. So thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing and let's see what you have in store for September. Okay, so this video is for anybody whose sun, moon, or ascendant is in Leo. Okay, so let's see what you got. Don't mind the motorcycle. So, the first card that you have, Leo, is the Wheel of Fortune. It really is about everything in life going your way. And at the beginning of the month, you also have a lot of benefics that are very close in the sign of Leo and in the sign of Virgo. So this is a great time for you to be enjoying that with the placement of Jupiter and Venus. Also, in your love life, this basically means that things are going to turn the right way for you. So even if you are having a hard time at the end of August, the beginning of September, you're going to have this wonderful grace period where a couple of days, everything just seems to work and flow really well. Now, what you have crossing you is a little bit different. You have the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands is conflict. So most likely you're with someone or you're dating someone and you're going to get into a fight. And the Five of Wands is talking about five people fighting over one thing for one cause. So you might get in a fight with your significant other or you're hopeful, and it might be something that a whole bunch of people join in on, and you have this kind of conflict. And the reason why I say people are joining in on the fight is the Seven of Wands is your crowning card. And your crowning card has a lot to do with the overall situation that you're going through. So the Seven of Wands really does talk about you having a vantage point in the fight and you being aware and using that skill that you have better than anyone else, any of the other people on the ground actually can or will do. So if you have this fight with your significant other, you're going to win, but in winning, it's going to create some sort of cost. And the cost would be you guys taking a step back. The Four of Swords is a man that he's at his final resting place. And in a relationship, the Four of Swords basically means that you're going through a point of taking a step back and thinking about what happened in the relationship and having some remorse over something that happened between the two of you. When you guys get into this argument, I don't think it's coming from a sense of pride. It may just be two conflicting viewpoints that aren't in alignment. I don't see anything that is that has too much bravado or anything that is, devious or malicious or anything like that. It just might be a big fight that causes you to really take a step back and go, I need some time by myself, which is the Hermit card. And it's about you recognizing your spiritual needs, because the Hermit is very much about walking your own path. It's about you having the ability to take some time alone, some much needed time alone. Leo, maybe you're so used to being in the spotlight, especially with the wheel at the beginning of the month in September. Maybe you're getting a lot of attention. Maybe you're getting a lot of male attention. And you have, a few people that are fighting over you. And you have the vantage point and you're trying to decide which one of these people is working best for you, but then you realize at a certain point that you need to take a step back from it all because it's just overwhelming. And in that, you're finding your space in your own spiritual journey to be a hermit for a while, obviously not forever. With the sign of Leo, you're going to need to, come out of that sooner or later. But with that being said, you have a lot of people around you that are going to think that you're kind of in a fearful place and that you're stuck in your thoughts. Your partner or the potential hopefuls that might be arguing over you and trying to get your attention might feel like you're a bit scared. So ask yourself that, Leo. Are you scared? Are you in a position where you have so many people in your life that are interested in being with you and you're not taking any of them seriously, not because you're in such a great place, but because maybe you've gotten used to being alone, or maybe you've gotten accustomed to being such an individual that it's hard to imagine getting on the same page with somebody, to making that commitment, to having that relationship. So what are your fears? In this card, you have a woman who is standing there. She's bound, she's tied up, but the reality of it all is she could do something very easily to change her situation. And Leo, a really big message that's coming for you in September is, if you don't like something, change it. Do something active to change it. Don't just have strong feelings about it. This is a month that has a lot of activity for you, especially at the beginning. Things are naturally in your favor. Things are going to be flowing in the desired direction that you would want things to go. So if you have a partner that's really interested in you and you're actually genuinely interested in them, I would, kind of realize that you don't have to take a step back. You don't have to be this. If you need to be this, take the time so you can get yourself together. But, realize that you're pulling away from them and they're not pulling away from you. And, if they have pulled away from you, this Four of Swords is very much about saying it's only temporary. If they've decided to pull away from you and they've decided that, you have a lot going on and you have a lot of options, and maybe they see that, but they want something that's more committed, and they take a step back, then just know that they're taking a step back to maybe see where you're at so that they can reconsider their position and come at you in a different way, in a different light, because they're definitely interested. When you get the Four of Swords, it's not a major breakup. It's not everything is over and things are ended. It's a resting point. It's you trying to come back together so that you recognize the peace in the relationship and you stop focusing on the resistance. So, Leo, if there's resistance in your life, I would ask you to focus on a different point, because in the space of your guidance and your hopes and fears, you have the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is very much about you having the world at your feet. And it's also, with it being my minor arcana, it's a two card, which really does any sort of, a two always speaks to a coupling of some sort. So look for that when you do your own personal spreads or when you get readings. Look for the things that are symbolic in the reading. If you have a reading that has a bunch of threes in it, most likely there's some sort of person that's affecting the relationship outside of you. Sometimes it's a love triangle, sometimes it's a family member, but in this particular spread, you have two major arcana. You have a two as well. And I think there are also two very distinctive fight cards, So the two of you are going to get into a fight. And if you do, just realize it's not the end of the world. And know that the universe is backing for this relationship to work, even if you do take some time apart. And not only that, but the two of you together are creating a balanced, stable relationship. The Princess of Pentacles means that you're learning how to create something that physically works in your day-to-day life. So if this is your partner, this can be a Taurus, a Capricorn, a Virgo, somebody that isn't really that sure of themselves, but they're learning. They're at the point where they're trying to be the person that you need them to be. They're at the point where they're working on getting themselves together financially, maybe getting themselves together physically. Maybe they're at a turning point in their life, but it's definitely a learning process that happens when you meet this person. A lot of times you meet someone with an earth sign and they come off as very established and they come off as very stable. But this person is at the very beginning of that cycle. So if you have any interest in that person, Leo, and this is the person that you're trying to be with, just know that they're at the beginning of creating something new in their life. And you guys are both going to have to get away from the mental blocks that you have around the relationship and realize that maybe there's too much competition. There's too much competition between you and them. Whether it's you guys competing for each other's love or whether it's other people competing for their love and you're noticing, or vice versa, you guys have to really eliminate the competition this month and get down to the nitty-gritty and get to the point where you two are communicating for the right reasons, because both of the communication cards that you have in this spread are based off of some sort of fear. You have a lot of other great things that are going on, but the communication this month is going to be a little bit stagnant. So let's see what you have going on for your last two cards, Leo. I think I'm going to pull two. Oh, one popped out. You got the Seven of Cups. Okay, well, good. We're going to go with that one. And then the second one that popped up is the Ten of Cups. So now I also had another card pop out. It actually showed its face, but it didn't come out all the way, which was the Judgment card. So I will show you that. I'll show you that as soon as I can find it. Hold on. The Seven of Cups really does talk about us having these illusions of grandeur. I think this goes back to what we were talking about earlier when I said you have a lot of people in your life. So I think you have a lot of options in terms of love options, and they're really just coming full force. And you have this vision of, oh my God, I could have this person, I can be with that person, I can see it clearly, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. But I think underneath it all, there's probably, I would say there's one particular person that you're thinking about. Whether that's somebody from your past, actually, I am pretty sure it's somebody from your past, because the two cards, I'm pretty sure it's somebody from your past, especially with the Hermit being involved. But I think the Seven of Cups means you've kind of put that relationship on pause for a second and decided to have a little bit of fun in this month and maybe not be so serious or not worry about your past hurts or things like that, and really focus on what it is that you want. But in doing that, sometimes we lose ourselves. So be aware, Leo, that you don't want to lose yourself in all of the options. Maybe that's why you're taking a step back, because there's too many options. But underneath it all, what you're really looking for is the 10 of Cups. You're looking for a love that gives you this sort of freedom of expression. You can have it all in one partner, the person that makes you laugh, the person that makes you cry for good reasons, the person that you can take intimacy with to a whole new level, the person that really is the light of your life. I mean, even if you look at the back of the card, there's this rainbow that's kind of guided through the cups. And even in the traditional 10 of Cups, it very much is about having this kind of guiding light and this universal presence in this relationship that makes everything work. So, Leo, have your fun for the month. Definitely do that. Have the conflict. The conflict is good. It's going to bring things to light. It's going to bring things out that you might not have been willing to talk about before. Take the time to rest, but then realize that you're in the middle of a fantasy and you need to get back to this. You need to get back to your 10 of Cups, whoever that person is for you, whether that is somebody new that's coming in and that's your Page or Princess of Pentacles. This is somebody who's very much into learning about what love can be. So realize that you're going to have to take it slow, and that might be hard for a fire sign. But when dealing with somebody who's got a lot of earth, just know that they're about stability. And I think that'll cause a lot of physical passion and a lot of excitement in your life with this earth person being there, because fire and earth, despite what a lot of people think, can have very passionate moments together. So enjoy yourself in the month of September. Also, keep a lookout for my new video that I will be making. I'm going to do a Venus in retrograde video talking about my experiences with Venus in retrograde for the month of September. And I will be holding a lottery for anyone who shares their month of September video and likes and subscribes, so that they can enter the lottery to get a free personal reading. I will be giving away 2 free personal readings. So if you're interested in that, Leo, please stick around, and I hope to see you next month. And thank you so much. Bye, Leo.